With the rise of so many image processing softwares, it's really difficult to narrow down to one software that really suits your needs as a wildlife photographer. So what's going on, guys? Bryan here from Wild Africa Adventures, and today, guys, I just wanted to talk to you about image processing softwares ranging from Photoshop, Lightroom, Lumina AI, among an endless list of softwares that process images. But trying to find the perfect software is like trying to find a needle in a haystack, because there are so many softwares that are out there. There isn't any perfect software. That is the truth. The truth is there is no perfect software to help you do that. You try to find a software that really suits your needs, a software that comes close to what you're looking for. Raw image processing softwares, they vary as per you, who is the editor, as per your preference. I wouldn't say there is a perfect software out there for you to edit your photos, because it's really difficult to understand the perfect image that you guys, or the perfect look that you guys are going for. So what I use for my images is Capture One. I used to previously use Lightroom, and then coming from a background that is DaVinci Resolve, I understand more about color. I wouldn't say that I'm in the top level. I'm actually, maybe I will say, intermediate. So actually understanding the color language has helped me to move from Lightroom to Capture One, because I want to edit my photos as per the look that I have in my mind. There is a look that I always go for, and I want to maintain that look throughout my photos. It's like my kind of identity, and I couldn't get that in Lightroom. So I decided to move to Capture One because it gives me a wider playing ground to play with my colors and to figure out what I want and what look that I'm going for. Whenever I'm editing my photos in Capture One, there is one thing that I always look for. I want to retain my image to remain as natural as it can be. I'm going to hop into Capture One so that I can show you guys how I do it. And let's just edit some few photos and maybe see what we are going for. So see you in Capture One. So guys, we are inside Capture One, and this is the look that we are going for. This is one of the photos that I took out when I was in the wild. We went for a game drive. So I'm not going to be, this is not a tutorial to show you how I edit my photos or how to get this look. This is just to show you what I went for, what convinced me to actually decide that I'm going to be doing my edits in Capture One. So this is the before and this is the after. So this is the look that we're going for. Let's just reset this and recreate this. So I'm going to go to the exposure tab, and right away I can see this is what I was seeing in my camera, and I want to remove this haziness so that I can give it a more like contrast. So the first thing that I do, I will dehaze. So when I dehaze, you can see what is happening. So let me just leave it there. Okay, raise the blacks and bring down the shadows like that. And then I'm going to be raising my saturation like that, boost up the contrast a little bit. So this is what we had, and this is so far what we have got. I'm going to boost up the clarity a little bit so that we can make it more clear, and I'm going to go in here and raise the sharpness because I want very sharp images. I raise my sharpness, reduce noise, and I'm going to go to the color tab. This is where now I love, and raise my saturation like that.
So I'm going to go back onto my exposure tab, and this is now where the amazing thing comes in. I'm going to show you the difference between the one thing that convinced me to do my edits on Capture One, not Lightroom, is this exposure warning. You can see I'm starting to lose some exposure. Some things are just, you can see the readiness here. Let me just overdo this like that. You can see it's just telling me, you know, you've overexposed your image. All this, if I remove this, you can't see anything. So the exposure warning is a huge thing that convinced me. Let me just bring down the exposure until, so this is how I have brought down the exposure, but this is where it is amazing. I'm going to bring up the brightness, and you can see if I bring up the brightness, I'm not overexposing anything. Everything is just becoming brighter and brighter and brighter. But if I bump up the exposure, this is where the difference between the brightness and the exposure comes in. If I bump up the exposure warning just tells me, no, you're just overexposing stuff. If I bump up the brightness, the image is holding out very. If I boost it to the end, you can see like nothing is blowing. Yes, the image is just getting blown, but I'm still retaining the data. So I'm going to just give it to that. Let me just go back, and then let me just go under the advanced tab in the color editor. I'm going to select this. So I want to boost up the greens. So I'm going to go under the greens, just click there, and you can see the exposure warning tells me, you know, you're overexposing. So let me just click the before and after. So this was the before, and this is our final look. And what is amazing is I can copy this to my other photos. So just have to apply it, and voila, the effect is on the other, just as easy as that. I don't need to create a preset. I don't need to create a preset I can just copy it over every single photo that I have. So let's just try this on some other photos. Let me just pick this one of the elephant and just place this. You can see like the adjustments that I made and the color profile that I made just fits perfectly, because this is the same day under the same lighting conditions. So you can see this is what convinced me to go into using Capture One.
Before I forget, this video is not sponsored by Capture One. All I'm trying to say, this is the software that I prefer. This is my preference. I'm not saying that you guys who are using Lightroom or you guys who are using any other software to process your image, you're using the worst software. No. This is the software that I decided as a wildlife photographer I'm going to use. So this suits my needs. So you guys really need to narrow down to the software that really suits your needs. But for me, I go for Capture One because it gives me a wider range for me to play with the colors and the looks that I want. Hoping you guys learned something in this video. So I'll see you in the next one. See you.